Hi, I'm Gregory C. Smith, founder of Career Path Academy, and thank you for checking in. What we looked at is one of the major problems we have in our society is this idea of success. And they ask people, what is success? And number one, everyone says, is achieving your goals. I remember listening to Earl Nightingale many years ago, listening to his tapes, and he said, success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. The progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. And I find that fantastic, but you know what? I've come to realize that is just half of it. Half of it is being able to achieve these goals. Half of it is achieving your aspirations. What about the second half? Being happy, enjoying it. To me, when you pull those two together, that is what true success is. Being in a position where you're achieving these goals, but you actually are enjoying life. It's fun. I remember hearing Anthony Robbins saying, success without fulfillment is failure. Think of that for a moment. Success without fulfillment is failure. Career Path Academy is all about bringing success. And how does that work? It works by understanding certain things about ourselves, our own talents, our own abilities. The first thing I explain to people is, number one, it does not matter where you go, what you do the rest of your life. You have to deal with people. True or false? And if that is the truth, we need to gain people skills. People don't usually quit companies. You hear it all the time with, oh, people, I quit that company, I quit that place, I'm not working there anymore. But is that really what's happening? As you delve into their lives, evaluate, you ask certain questions, you get to realize something. They don't usually quit companies. The majority of people, they quit people. It's usually the individuals they have to deal with, the difficult people. Can't handle them, the stress that they create in their lives, anxious, the anxiety, getting stressed out every single day, having to deal with that same person. That's where the frustration comes in, and that's what usually happens. People don't quit companies, they quit people. So when you actually think of what's actually happening here in our society, in our world today, we have so many people going through all these different jobs, all these different professions. I hear people say that you will go through about 8 different professions in your life. But I've realized that the people that we consider to be highly successful, they're not going through that process. So what's the difference? They're understanding certain things about themselves. They're understanding certain things about their own talents and abilities, which gives them a certain direction in their lives. And that's what makes all the change. Growing up, I remember having all these big dreams and aspirations and wanting to do certain things, and it wasn't happening for me. And about age 27, we had 2 children at the time, and I was just frustrated with life. And I remember a good friend of mine, he had a successful businessman who was as a colleague. And I remember asking that gentleman if he'd be my mentor. I asked him to be my mentor, and I knew in my gut, well, you know what, this guy's most likely going to say no. He doesn't know you from a hole in the ground. This guy doesn't know who you are. Why would he give you the time of day? But my mindset has always been nothing to lose, everything to gain. Well, think of it. If I ask him to be my mentor, he says no. Have I really lost anything? No, I didn't have a mentor anyway. But by him saying yes, I gained immensely. So he said yes, just don't waste my time. The deal was we met at least once a month. They lived in Oakville, we lived in Kitchener. You're talking about an hour and 20-minute drive kind of thing. We met 10 o'clock at night because they had younger children. They would be able to get them in bed by then and be able to devote their time to us. I tell you, for about 2.5 years, we met with them on a regular basis, sometimes twice a month. I remember on a couple occasions, we never left their home till about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Luckily, we had good babysitting and got home in time basically to get the kids ready and so on and shower up and get to work. But really, the lessons I learned. He had me do 3 things. My wife and I, we had to do 3 things. Number one, we had to get on the Book of the Month Club. I really didn't like reading books much, but he said, listen, the wisdom of the ages are locked up in books. You need to unlock the wisdom. Learn, grow, develop yourself. So I started reading books. Number 2, he said, I want your vehicle to become a rolling library. I loved my music. I literally had 2 17-inch woofers in my trunk. I had the tweeters, I had an amp, I had the equalizing system. You want to talk about a kicking system I had. But he said, listen, you spend so much time in your vehicle. I want you to go to the library. I'm not saying don't listen to music anymore, but I want you to go to the library. I want you to start borrowing tapes, cassettes back then, of successful people. I want you to start listening to them over and over again. Get that mindset, because you're not going to get it all in one sitting. You listen to it over and over again and glean the information, the knowledge, the wisdom. So my vehicle became a rolling library. And number 3, he said, I want you attending workshops and seminars. And that's when I met this gentleman, Dr. Robert Rohn, who actually changed my life, because what he taught me about people, human behavior, Psychology is amazing. So the thing is now, when you look at this idea of Career Path Academy, the idea is being successful, being in a position where you are achieving the things you want to achieve, but you're actually enjoying it. Think of it for a moment. Out of all the people that you know in your life, how many people do you consider to be in a position where they love what they do? I mean, they're passionate about work. When they go to work, they're going to have fun. How many people do you know? I can guarantee most likely you know some people, but I can guarantee you can count them all on one hand. The people who love what they do, they're passionate about what they do. Why? Because most of the time what happens is we get into a position where a friend or whoever it is calls us, colleague, whatever, gets us in a position where we take care of this job, this profession, we start up with it. And it's working okay, and it's fun, or it might be okay paying the bills, whatever it might be. But we never actually tap into that real potential, the talents, the abilities, figure out what our combination is. Because my belief is that you have a certain combination when it comes to your talents and abilities. And it's actually figuring out what the combination is. And when you put the two together, what a difference it will make. So what a difference it actually makes. And the difference is understanding certain things. When it comes to Career Path Academy, number one, people skills. It does not matter where you go, what you do, the rest of your life, you have to deal with people. So my thing is understanding the needs. Because we have to deal with people all the time, but there are certain needs that you have for your personality style. And when you understand those needs, if those needs are fulfilled, what a difference it's going to make in your life. Why? Because work now doesn't become work, that doesn't become toil or moil or frustration. Work actually is, like it's supposed to be, an extension of who you are. That's where we are able to become creative because we feel free. Why? Because it's an extension of who you are. So it's understanding certain things about personality, human behavior. Number one is really understanding the needs, and that you have certain personalities where that need is perfection. That needs, or they just pay attention to every little detail. So therefore, they have to be in a position where those needs are being fulfilled. You have a certain personality style where they need the attention, the public acknowledgement. They need to be out front, having fun, inspiring, talking to people all the time, change, variety. So if you understand that's a need that they have, what you have to fulfill that need in the position, whatever position you're heading towards or you're trying to attain in your life. You have one other personality style, well, hey, they need to be in control. They're very direct. They don't beat around the bush. They need to be in control. They need to be challenged. And then you have another personality style that loyalty is a major part of their lives. They're not into large groups. It's all about small groups. They're shy. And they need that support. They are supportive and they're quite caring. And they need the routine. They need to know what's going to be happening. So when you understand certain things about yourself, it becomes a lot easier to make certain decisions about your future, where you want to go, what you want to achieve. So number one, that need is personality style needs. The key with this is, once these needs are fulfilled, you're no longer in a position where you're going to be frustrated. That's why people have a lot of fun where they go to work. When you start talking to them, yes, they can handle the work because the talents that they use, hey, it's fantastic. They're using their talents and they're having fun with it. But most likely it's because they're working with people that it's wonderful to work with, a great crew, a great group of individuals. And I can guarantee you, when we start looking into their lives, we realize this is what's happening. Their personality style needs are being fulfilled. But the second part of this, and what I call the success place, is when this is happening. That's the position that you want to be in. What I've realized with the people that are highly successful, this is a major part of their lives because their personality style needs are being fulfilled by their top 3 talents. I tell everyone you have 8 to 10 talents, but there's a combination of these talents. So for example, you're in a position, whatever profession, you're using talent 1, 3, and 5, let's say. And you're doing well at it. It's your talents and you're naturally good at it. And the more you use it, the better you get. But if we were to sit down and talk to you, ask you, how are you being fulfilled? Are you really enjoying this? Are you passionate? Are you loving it? Well, you might say, no, not really. I mean, it's okay. I'm having fun. It's okay. It's doing well. But I can't say I'm really passionate. I love it. Why? It's because your talents, you're using talent 1, 3, and 5, but really to find a fulfillment, real joy in your life, passion where you become creative, it's talent 2, 6, and 7, let's say. It's just like you have a lock, kids go to school and they have their lockers, they have that combination of 3 numbers. Well, the same thing with you. You have 3 or 4 numbers, 3 or 4 talents that when you merge the three together, 3 or 4 together, that's where the real magic happens. But very few actually explore this. Very few are actually tapping into this, really trying to figure out what they are. And the people who do, well, in many cases by luck, or some of them understand it's a science to it. But for the majority of individuals, this is not really a part of their lives. And this is what I call the success place. Career Path Academy is all about teaching this. Having your personality style needs fulfilled by your top 3 talents. When that happens, you're in a place where life is exciting. Work is fun. I tell people when I go to work, I don't go to work. To me, work is fun. I go to play. I'm like a kid in a candy store who loves candy. So the idea is tapping into your true potential. Career Path Academy will teach you how to do just that. Come join us. Career Path Academy.